Not everyone wants to be an engineer, doctor, or scientist anymore. India's career mindset is shifting. People today want to be founders, entrepreneurs. They want to build something of their own. This startup wave has swept across India. Every year, thousands of startups are being registered. But here's the problem, most of them are failing. Why? The issue isn't funding, it isn't team building, it's something deeper. Let's decode why 90% of Indian startups shut down and what that says about the future of India's innovation economy. India's startup ecosystem is booming, on paper. The number of startups keeps rising. Pitch decks are everywhere. Everyone wants to be the next unicorn. But the survival rate? Less than 10% make it past 5 years. And most founders repeat the same mistakes. They confuse building an app with building a business. They chase virality, not viability. Because building a startup is not just branding plus buzz. It's about solving real-world problems. Problems that matter to real people. Let's talk about one of the biggest traps, copying Silicon Valley. We see a successful model in the US, like Robinhood or Airbnb, and we recreate it in India with a new name. But we forget something crucial. Indian users are different needs, different priorities. You can't expect a Palo Alto product to succeed in Patna. What works in California doesn't always click in Coimbatore. This obsession with cloning global trends without context is why most startups miss product market fit. Even when the product is good, can it reach Bharat? That's India beyond the top cities. Tech penetration is uneven. Income levels, languages, infrastructure, they all vary drastically. Yet, most Indian startups are building for one audience, urban millennials with iPhones. Meanwhile, Tier 2 and 3 cities, small businesses, farmers, informal workers remain invisible, ignored by innovation, ignored by investment. India isn't one homogeneous market, it's a patchwork, and most startups aren't ready for that reality. In 2023, Indian startups raised over $10 billion. But here's where it went. Fintech, $3.8 billion. EdTech, $2.3 billion. E-commerce, $1.9 billion. Health tech, $1.4 billion. Four sectors got over 70% of the total funding. Why? Because they're trendy. They promise scale. They attract VCs. But many of these are still cash-burning machines. They're not profitable. They're not solving core Indian problems. They're solving elite problems for metro cities only. So where's the innovation for India's real challenges? Look beyond the noise, and you'll find India's silent winners. BlackBuck, streamlining logistics. Q1 FY, 25 profit, 28.6 crore rupees of business, fixing raw material supply for MSMEs. Consistently profitable. DeHart, transforming agri-supply chains. FY24 revenue, 2,675 crore rupees, on a path to profitability. These startups aren't building for glamour, they're building for impact. And they're showing us the future of Indian innovation, problem first, profit next. Here's the bitter truth. 95% of startups are solving problems for the top 5% of India. That's the elite class, the rich, the tech-savvy. But what about the other 1.3 billion people? People who need better roads, schools, logistics, healthcare, farming tools, access to credit? This is where the real opportunity lies. The next wave of impactful startups will not come from cafes in Koramangala. They'll come from the needs of Karimganj and Kurnool. Startups are not just about IPOs and VC rounds. They are about solving problems that move the country forward. If we want to build the next India, not just the next unicorn, we need startups that don't just make noise, but build nations. The question is, will Indian startups serve the elite or empower the masses? That's the debate we must have. And now is the time to start it.